Hey, I have a fun story for us to read today. Some of you kids may know what this is, and some of you might not. And we're going to learn about it in the story. The name of our story today is Hooray! A Pinata. So, in this, it's going to help us know what a pinata is and what they look like, and we'll answer some questions at the end if you'd like. So the story is called Hooray! A Pinata. That's the title. And the story is by Elisa Clevin. That's the author and the illustrator. So she wrote the story and she drew the pictures. So sometimes one person does both things. So let's see what happens and what a pinata is. Clara's birthday was coming up. I'm going to have a cake at my party, she told her friend Samson. Of course you'll have a cake, said Samson. There's always cake at birthday parties. And I'm going to have balloons, Clara said. Everyone has balloons, said Samson. And I'm going to have a pinata too, Clara added proudly. Mama's taking me to pick one out this morning. Want to come? Hooray, a pinata! Samson clapped his hands. I love pinatas. Look, there are lots of people. That's a busy place right now, huh? Lots of stores and lots of things. I love pinatas too, said Clara as her mother led them to the pinata store. I love to fill them with candy. I love to whack them, Samson said. And smack them and crack them, said Clara. And mash them and smash them and break them, cried Samson. And watch the candy fall, yelled Clara. And eat the candy, shouted Samson. Look at all the different things in the store. Right? There were so many pinatas to choose from. Donkeys and dinosaurs, peacocks and stars, robots and ice cream cones, lions and lambs, all fluffily and ruffly in their bright paper curls. There were even some monster pinatas. Samson made a face at a big jagged one. Get the scary thundercloud monster, Clara. A thundercloud monster? Clara shook her head. I like this little dog. Can I get him, Mama? So can you guys find the big scary thundercloud one? Do you see him in the picture? Samson's looking at him. There's lots of colors. Right here. And you see Clara is picking out the little dog. If that's the one you want, her mother said. He's the one, said Clara. That dog is so small, he won't hold very much candy, Samson told her. I like him, though, Clara replied. He's a good little dog, the pinata vendor said as he lifted the pinata down. Clara took the dog in her arms. He was light and soft, and he smelled like newspaper. Clara petted the dog's curly fur as she carried him home. I think I'll name him Lucky. He looks like a Lucky, said Samson. He's a good little dog. We could take him for a walk to the park or a picnic. Mom wants me home for lunch, replied Samson. And you should save the pinata for your birthday party. You don't want it to get wrecked. It won't get wrecked, don't worry, Clara assured him. So what do we know? Pinatas look like a whole bunch of different things. They can be dressed up with animals. She said it smelled like newspaper, so they probably make the outside of it partly of newspaper, huh? What's she doing with her puppy there? Her pinata dog. At home, Clara gave Lucky a bowl of crunchy brown cereal because it looked a little bit like dog food. Lucky seemed to enjoy it. When he had eaten, Clara made him a collar and a leash and took him out for a walk. They stopped to greet people. See, they're saying hi. And other dogs. And to smell bushes, flowers, and trees. So she's kind of treating that like a real dog, huh? Those are kind of the things you do with a real dog. Then they came home and dug a deep hole in the sand. What are you doing to that poor pinata? Samson called from across the fence. Lucky's digging, Clara told him. He's getting all dirty, Samson replied. He'll shake himself clean. Clara, honey, called her mother, shake yourself clean and come get your sweater. We're going to Grandma's for dinner. See you, Clara, Samson said. Take care of that pinata. I will, Clara promised. So if you look real close, you can see Clara with the pinata. And he's hanging out the window. She held Lucky tight as the car sped across the city. Lucky sniffed the air with its many smells, salty, oily, bready, sweet. His ears flapped in the wind. Grandma was waiting for them on the porch. Look, I got a dog, Clara ran to show her. What a good little dog, Grandma patted him. So quiet and so clean. I have to keep him clean because he's really a pinata, said Clara. If I bathed him, his fur would fall apart. But you can brush him, Grandma said as they went into the house. And you can keep him warm. She gave Clara a small crocheted blanket. And here's a little spending money just for you. Thanks, Grandma. Clara hugged her. She knew what she would spend the money on. Dog biscuits and a ride on the merry-go-round near Grandma's house. After dinner, they walked there together. As her horse galloped around and around, Clara pretended that she and Lucky were flying. What do you think? Does it kind of look like they're flying? Just a little bit. They flew in Clara's dreams that night. Look, she's got so many fun things going on in her dreams. And they're certainly flying. And on her swing the next morning, they ate cheese sandwiches together and listened to stories. Look, they're reading stories there. And bicycled around the block with Samson. Careful with that pinata, Samson yelled as they raced down the hill. Don't worry, Samson, he's safe. Do you see him in our basket there? As they ride down the hill. That afternoon, Clara and Samson made paper hats for everyone who was coming to her birthday party the next day. Clara made a little hat for Lucky. You like that pinata so much, Samson said. It's going to be sad when we stuff him with candy and break him. Clara's eyes filled with tears. I don't want anybody to break him, she said. You mean you won't have a pinata at your party? Asked Samson. No candy? Oh, we can have candy in bowls, Clara suggested, though she knew it didn't sound like much fun. Samson sighed. You should have a real dog, Clara. Maybe I could get you a puppy for your birthday. I can't have a real dog, Clara said. Dogs and cats make my mother sneeze. They do? Oh, that's too bad. I'll have to get you something else then, Samson said. What? Asked Clara. I'm not sure yet. I'll think of something good, though. What do you think he got her? Do you guys recognize what's in that picture? Who is that? Let's see. Early the next morning, Samson came by with 2 presents. Clara opened the smaller one first. Inside was a rawhide bone. For Lucky. Thanks, Samson. Open the big one, Samson said. Clara tore off the wrapping paper and saw something big and jagged and scary. Hooray! A pinata! Clara clapped her hands. Hooray! A pinata! Samson clapped his hands too. What a pinata! Said Clara's mother. Clara hugged the thundercloud. Let's fill it with candy right now. Before you make friends with it too, Samson laughed. Clara's father helped them cut a hole in the pinata and fill it with almond bars and cinnamon swirls, strawberry rolls and taffy, tiny bags of jelly beans and shiny chocolate kisses. Then they taped the hole shut and hung the heavy thundercloud in Clara's tree. That sounds like he might be a really good friend. He tried to get something that she would really love. The pinata scowled as the guests arrived at the party. It glared as they sang and ate cake. Do you see him up there? Glaring and staring. It grinned its toothy monster grin as the children took turns trying to break it. They whacked it and cracked it and mashed it and bashed it, but still that storm cloud did not open until Clara gave it a thundering thwack and candy showered down. The children whooped and hollered, "Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!" They screamed and ran to grab as much candy as they could hold. Look at all the kids. See, we've got the thundercloud pinata. They're all racing to get candy. And when they'd eaten all they could, they played with the pinata. Samson wore the scowly face as a mask. Clara turned the bottom into a hat, and Lucky chased a quick yellow lightning bolt through the grass. Can you find Lucky in the picture chasing the thunderbolt? It's kind of hidden. We've got Clara here. So what'd you guys think of that story? That was kind of cool, huh? Samson must be a really good friend to try to do something so that she could keep something she liked. Have any of you ever played with a pinata or done that at your birthday party? You know, it's a lot of fun to do things that are different. So I want you guys to maybe talk about what kind of pinata you would get if you were going to get a pinata, or if you had pinatas before, what kind of pinata you had at your party. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.